yourself down for 90 minutes, right? So that was just a problem for the girls. But I think secondly was a matter of quality as well, and the fact that the Germans had the mentality that they would win this game. They weren't allowed to win, and that was the conversation. But kudos to the girls, right? I believe that with this performance here, they've just shown me that they have what it takes to qualify for the next round of the competition. I think they will.
All right, now, before Solrex jumps in, Blyden, beyond the venue of the loss against Germany, was that positive? What stood out for you to see Bankole Lower Kere should hold on to that, and that thing that would come up good for them in the second and third group game as they look to bounce back from the disappointment of 2016 where they couldn't get past the first hurdle, looking to beat that particular one and get past the first round mark?
Well, for me, I think it was overall disappointing because I saw the fight early into the game, got that first goal. You would have thought probably they could have consolidated it, go on to win it, create a mark just as the under 20 girls did at the last World Cup they attended against France. But it didn't happen. But on the other hand, there's always going to be that positive from the game. I think they were resolute enough, especially the high block position. That allowed the Germans come deeper and sort of keep them at bay at the high block position. Defend from the midfield, not defend at your defense part. It doesn't work that way in football. But I think they brought the Germans down inward a bit, and the Germans dominated. At the end of it, when they dominate like you, they get to score against you. That was the situation. But come on, these are European champions. Better facilities they have. Nigeria not at the same level with Germany. Yes, you can say it's an age grade competition, but it ends up talking about how you do at home. What's the level of your league at home? It boils down to this competition at this level, and it plays out for me. It was sad that lost, but it's a pointer. We have Chile next. Chile not the biggest name you can think of in world football when it has to do with women's football. Also, you have the rest of the teams. I think they can go all out and get a win, especially against New Zealand and Chile. I think they'll qualify from that group.
Right now, Solrex, we're taking New Zealand on Friday by 12 noon. Ahead of that particular fixture, what's that one thing you like Bankole Lower Kere to change in that side ahead of the next fixture?
Yeah, Brett, first up, I think it was, a fantastic game. I'd love to tilt to what Mary is saying particularly, but I just feel, when your strikers are not scoring, the team will definitely go down, because that yesterday we saw, a defender scoring right back for that matter at once. They have strikers talking about Jackie Opeyomi in that particular game. And one thing about the round of that game is, if you want to get a goal, you want to be in the game, your striker should be scoring. That should be the talking point. Your strikers need to, take the team in the front foot and see how they can move to the next level, right? New Zealand is the next game. They lost to Chile as well. So I think, the girls are ready, to take on New Zealand, a poor New Zealand team. So they should take on New Zealand and also see how they can build the momentum from that particular game. They'll still face Chile in the group. So they should try and see if how they can win, the game of football and leave the group. The group will take care of itself. Just win your game, poker, and things will go your way.
Right, now later, in exactly 15 minutes' time, the other African contingents were talking Tanzania in action against Japan by 3:30. Spain also in action against Colombia by the same time. Let's look at the standings across the various groups. For Group A, the United States of America were top, 3 points, 8 massive goals. Brazil second, 3 points still, but it's an inferior goal difference compared to the United States. Morocco third, no single point. India, rock bottom. You know why. Group B has Chile top with 3 points. Germany joins top with 3 points as well. Nigeria, no points. Same story for New Zealand. China at top of Group C, 3 points already. Colombia and Spain do battle later in 40 minutes time. Mexico, rock bottom in that particular group. And for Group D, Canada, France, 1 point apiece. Japan and Tanzania in action in exactly 14 minutes from now as well. Early pace setters. We're talking about individual stats. But look out for the name Melina Angelica Rebambas, plays for the United States. She's a top scorer. She's got 2 goals already in this particular competition. Miracle Sani leads the delegation of the 1 goal scorers. Anas Almendra Cifuentes San Juan of Chile also has 1 goal. Ella Mary Emery, Emily Louise Foy Clark, Giselle Olivia Thompson, and a whole lot more. Well, that's the story from there. I'll bring you more in the coming days, but that's the latest with regards to the Under-17 Women's World Cup currently up and running in India.
Would you offer another Monday night?
Now let's return home and talk about the story of the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sonny Dare, tasking the newly elected Executive Committee of the NFF to improve all levels of football in the country. Now Dare dropped this charge yesterday in his office at the Federal Secretariat when the NFF leadership paid him a courtesy visit. The minister said football is a national asset, unifying force in Nigeria, and the federal government, through his ministry, is interested in its growth and development. Now, Mary, let's look at this conversation from this end. Synergy, because that looks like would need that a great deal if the NFF Executive Committee are to achieve their mandates, what brought them into office. There must be that synergy between the NFF and the Ministry of Youth and Sports. They can continue to be at variance. They can continue to be at war. That definitely would be to the detriment of the growth and development of this beautiful game here in the country.
Absolutely right. Basically, not just synergy, between the NFF and Ministry, but it's synergy between the NFF, and every aspect, of football in the country, that has that's directly and indirectly affected, football in this country, not just the Ministry of Youth and Sports, but of course, Ministry is, the first part of call. But right now, after the elections, right, I said something that I always want to say, that every individual involved, every party involved in, football in this country should put football first. If they put football first, basically, they'll develop that synergy. They would always work towards the development of football in this country, and that's the thing. Look at what happened in the build up to elections with sports. First up, deeming the LMC, illegal, setting up an IMC and all of that, and then at some point sending notices to candidates not to be around the elections and all of that. But all of that clearly showed to the world that there was no unity between the NFF and the ministry. And I think moving forward, one thing that Ibrahim Gusa has to do is to make sure that he has developed that synergy with the NFF and the ministry, and also every other party, every other company, individual involved in football in this country. That's the only way we'll move forward, right? And that's the only way we'll be able to solve the aching problems worrying us.
Now let's look at something blighting. Even as we ask for synergy, we know there are issues and there are instances where the NFF and the Ministry of Youth and Sports, led by Sonny Dare, won't always agree. Now, should we be concerned about independency, because that's what the NFF will be calling for at this point, allowed the opportunity to take their decisions, good or bad, and then follow through, take the consequences of those actions and decisions? Do you trust Sonny Dare and the Ministry of Youth and Sports to allow the NFF to do what the NFF have been voted in to do?
I think the other conversation would also be, if the NFF is doing something out of place, that's not working for the culture of the country, look at it, it's not supportive for the growth of the country, what should Sonny Dare also do? But this is it for me, Brad James. For me, the core problem is not just about raising organizations or having leaders in organization. The question I always ask from a Nigerian's point of view would be, what is our footballing culture? What is the vision we have? So that everybody comes in, you already understand this is where we're going to. So if you're running age grade competition, this is our aim. We want to make sure, what is the target we set as a country for football? Because for me, that's where it spans through. So it's the point where you get the good leader that you want, the kind of leader that you want. It's a point where you get the right people to man positions that they ought to man. And for me right now, Nigeria doesn't have it. And in the long run, if we're not careful, we'll always go back and forth in this situation, and our football is dying. Look at it. The NFF are here. They seem to have different purposes, different dreams. The ministry seems to be here. Different purposes, different dreams. And can I just say a little bit scripturally, Brad James, here is it. It said, when there's no vision, the people perish. That is it. Or can two work together except they agree? Come on, that is it. So it's basically what it is. Come on, we're talking football here. It's basically what it is. And right now, for me, from a football perspective, we do not have a common vision. Therefore, that's why we're having this problem. We can only hope that in the nearest future, things will work out well, and we'll have that clear vision in football.
But I hope the newly elected NFF president, led by the NFF president, Ibrahim Musa Gusau, understand the task at hand. All the members of the new NFF leadership Ahmed Yusuf Fresh, Rabiu Noah, Aisha Falade, Margaret Chen, Right Honorable Sien, and the General Secretary, Dr. Mohammed Sinusi, understand that at the end of it, it's about football. It's about its development, growth, the betterment therein. It's not about you. It's not about the individual. It's about the country and the betterment of all. Let's leave here very quickly and head to Europe and bring the stories of the UEFA Champions League return last night. Some cracking fixtures, and you look at the results, well, some stunners. We look at them in very fine detail. So stay right here with us and get ready to join us on 090-222-31011 and of course on 0817-624-8565. We hear from Graham Potter. We hear from Pep Guardiola and a couple of key actors. There's Jude Bellingham. There's also Mason Mount, who seems to be enjoying his good run of form.
Yeah, to come here and win is certainly not easy, that's for sure. So credit to the players, they were really good, I thought. Obviously we get a bit of luck going the opponent down to 10 men, but I thought overall the performance was good. Nice to keep a clean sheet again, and to come away with 3 points is fantastic for us.
Well, let's go back to that game-changing moment with Tomori's red card. What did you make of the sending off?
Yeah, it's hard from where I'm sitting. I've not watched it back, but it looks like he's got a hand on him, and he's Mason's through on goal from where I am. But I need to have a look at it again clearly. But nice for the penalty, nice for Georgie to score, and it was a good move, I think, to get in there in the first place. So, yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes they go for you.
Jorginho.
That's the man. We're talking Graham Potter getting another win as Chelsea manager, and of course another clean sheet. Now let's look at the other results on the night. Well, Chelsea were 2-0 winners over Milan. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang got a goal as well in that particular fixture. Maccabi Haifa stunned Juventus 2-0. Copenhagen held Manchester City to a 0-0 draw. We had the man Sergio Gomez sent off for Man City inside the opening 30 minutes. Dinamo Zagreb won, Salzburg won. And Shakhtar the next one, Real Madrid won. Andrew Rodriguez getting a point for the Los Blancos at their death. Dortmund won, Sevilla won. Paris Saint-Germain shared the spoils against Benfica, 1-1 that would end. And Leipzig beat Celtic away from home by 2-0. For Graham Potter, and well, we heard him spoke glowingly, and when you consider the fact that there was another clean sheet, well, it's becoming a culture now under Graham Potter, keeping it very tight at the back.
Yeah, definitely, right. First of all, look at the win. I think these wins are shaking off the pressure and the tension, of his arrival at Chelsea. Remember, the arrival was marred by a lot of controversies. Thomas Tuchel, came in and all of that, and then the fact that there was so much bad energy at Chelsea. In fact, the players were even winning games, so he's coming and he's been unbeaten in 5 games, 4 wins and a draw, 4 back-to-back wins. That's clearly, good for Graham Potter, who is settling at Chelsea. That's the best way to settle at a team like Chelsea, to calm the fans, calm the tension, and make the players and everybody happy. So he's done a good job, so far. Talking about the game yesterday, it was a good win, a fine win. I never give them a chance, basically, because I thought that maybe the first win was basically a fluke, and then the second game was going to be a reality check. But they put all of that talk to bed, scoring the first goal through a penalty. Unfortunately, Fikayo Tomori had to be involved, the former Chelsea man, but that clearly was a penalty, and a red card deservedly as well. But Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang also gradually making nonsense of that number 9 course. He's now scored 3 goals for Chelsea in less than 5 games he's played. That's good for his energy as well, good for his confidence, basically, because there's been a lot of talks about if he'd be integral for Chelsea this particular season. He's done a good job for them, right? I just hope Chelsea keeps building on the momentum, not get complacent at some point. And secondly, I also like the team rotation, right? I keep saying it, the team rotation. Before Thomas Tuchel came in, you could easily guess Chelsea's 11. You could easily guess 8 players that would likely start for Chelsea under Tuchel. But right now, you're seeing that there's rotation in the team. Everybody gets to play, and everybody's happy, and that for me is very good.
Massimo Allegri in the second coming, hasn't really come together for the team Blyden. 2-0 against Maccabi Haifa. Does it tell the story of how terrible Juventus have been domestically, even in Europe, this particular campaign?
Well, I like the fact that yesterday I said one thing. If you can't beat Maccabi Haifa, you have no business being in the Champions League. And it encapsulates everything about Juventus this season. They've been terrible. I saw the game prior to this one, the game they played in Serie A against AC Milan. And I could call them in that game basic pretenders. They made AC Milan look good because they were pretending as if they're attacking when they're not attacking. They're pretending as if they're defending when they're not defending. It's the body language for me that's the key. And it could be troubling. Not just could be, it's really troubling from the old lady's point of view. Because when Maccabi Haifa gets to beat you, then you're really an old lady. And the name is coming on them right now because they play like ladies, as far as I'm concerned. Didn't work out yesterday at all for Juventus. It's not been working out this season. I think the coach should come to question. That's the level that they are right now.
Now let's talk about the other game. PSG, for his second game running, couldn't get past Benfica, shed his balls, 2 penalties, Kylian Mbappe, and of course João Mario got the equalizer from the sport steal for Benfica. PSG, what do you make of the game? This man, Solarex.
Right, it was an entertaining game from my point of view. Looking at PSG and also Benfica, quality team, playing together, and also in the first leg, they drew. And also Benfica, when they started the Champions League, they clearly shows you that, they are ready for this particular competition, winning with the play at the first leg. Was it Man City? Yeah. Let me check that particular group. The likes of PSG is in the group, Sevilla, and also quality teams in the group as well. So, Benfica are no pushover when it comes to this competition. Last season, they defeated same Juventus, and also coming to this season, in the next, when we run of 32, they're still going to be, facing quality teams. So I think Benfica will go all out for this particular one. And PSG on the other side, they've been little here, little there, since Kylian Mbappe came out with that particular story, that he wants to leave the club and started making hell.
Yeah, but we didn't see that last time, Mario, did you?
Yeah. Well, he scored.
Yeah,
scored a penalty. Yeah. But we didn't see all of the talk. All of the talk are off the field talks, right? So I don't expect it to affect his performance to the pitch of play, right? He scored, celebrated, and all.
Aside from that, in nights like this, we expect Kylian Mbappe, to come out, maybe score 2 goals. Last season in the Champions League, he was, way ahead of where is he currently in the Champions League. I was scoring about more than 9 goals completed.
Here's what I'll say. Right?
Slide in quickly. Before Mario comes in, let's look at what he's talking about. Now, he's complaining playing ahead of Lionel Messi and Neymar, who, are, let's say, on the flanks now. Neymar to the left, and Lionel Messi plays out from the right. Playing ahead as a central striker, does it limit his chances, or what does it do to his game exactly?
Well, first of all, let me say this right. I think a whole Kylian Mbappe talk from my standpoint is an indicator there are issues in Paris Saint-Germain. But I think it's not entirely the issues we're hearing. From my standpoint, there are some issues around, but from the way I'm perceiving it, it's not entirely the issues we're hearing. But looking at what you asked, and Kylian Mbappe playing centre forward, for me, it boils down to the coach. It has nothing to do with the player. A coach says, I want you to play centre forward. That's how I can get you. He can only say, probably, I do not really like this position because I'm not expressing myself altogether. But come on, he's been scoring a lot of goals, and he can do that. So if it's bringing results, no problem. Where the problem comes is, I'm not playing where I'm supposed to play, and I'm not playing quite well, and it's not bringing the result. But when I look at Paris Saint-Germain play, I first saw it against Juventus, the very first Champions League game they played. Ended, I think, 2-1 thereabout. Didn't play quite well. They were expressing themselves. They made Juventus look good. And afterwards, they played the next game and the next. It was Maccabi Haifa conceded goals. The key problem for Paris Saint-Germain side, from my standpoint, is the fact that while they tried to score, they're also conceding goals. And it's quite difficult. And that's the reason they sold a couple of players out of that team, because they needed stability and solidity. For me, it's not forthcoming. Maybe the demands of European games are coming upon them. Maybe they've just been enjoying too much in what some people might be calling, in quote, Farmers League. But whatever it is, they have to sort it as fast as possible.
Right, here is the problem. Mbappe basically, right, was made to think that he is a decision maker in the team. That's the problem. Because other players change position. Victor Moses was an attacker. Conte came in, played as a wing back. It's a normal thing for the coach. But once the club makes you believe that you can decide on stuff, that's what happens.
But can we just cut Mbappe some slacks? That's the way I said. That's the way I said, because we're just putting a lot on the young lad. For crying out, he's young. And he's been performing for the side for this long.
Yeah, but being young doesn't give you the license to be foolish.
No, he's
Lack
not.
of a better word.
The question is, how is he foolish? Look at it.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not putting Mbappe.
Okay,
I'm just saying.
But this is a picture. This is a picture. We understand the difficulties that comes with this club. Everyone would want to agree with me that he's been the best player in the past 2 to 3 seasons. He's been the best player, clearly.
He's been a big best player, but it's not the biggest name on that team list.
Doesn't have to be.
Yeah,
when it has to do with day-to-day activity, he's the one delivering the most.
Yeah, but we had it. We had it now. Yeah, you know, we didn't see the letters on print.
Yeah.
But we had it, and you know, you see, there's no smoke without fire.
Well, Campos also came out to say, "Come on, it's not so."
Well, when you tell a young lad that he can make decisions as to who plays,
that's what happens.
Who is sporting director, he can make football decisions for the team
at 22.
No, so
that's what happens.
What do you expect?
That's the question I also asked. Mario, before you come in, that's the question I asked yesterday. Who's deserving of making those decisions? Would we have said it would have been okay if Messi was making those decisions?
Yeah.
Because Messi did make those decisions at Barcelona. Come on, he did.
No.
Cristiano Ronaldo made those decisions in some other clubs.
Yeah, but
he did. Because Mbappe.
No. You've got coaching out there. Now, who's making the football decisions saying Mbappe, well, you play ahead of Lionel Messi and Neymar, and the lad is disgruntled. The lad doesn't like to play there.
Players always disgruntled, Brad James. When the top players and the performing well, Ronaldo disgruntled, Messi disgruntled. Yes, they didn't kill any of them.
Right. Disgruntled, fine, I understand. But you play for the team, and then you don't have to threaten the team that you're leaving.
Now, that's
the problem.
Is Mbappe bigger than PSG?
Yeah, you want to leave just because you're not playing you as a winger.
Correct. Is he bigger than PSG?
Well, I don't think so, because the club, are responsible in his wages as well. So for me, I will blame the club in this particular one.
Is he being over-pampered?
That's the thing. That's what I said yesterday. The club, you're talking about if he's bigger, the club has made him feel that he's bigger than every other name in the team. That's the thing, and he's been over-pampered. I said to Blighty yesterday that when you give a child a will, he steers the ship to the mud, and that's the story of Kylian Mbappe.
I want to ask just one question, just to put it clear. This is a question I want to ask. I want to ask Mari, Brad James, Solarex Test. What is Mbappe?
No, you're not asking me.
What is Mbappe's crime? That he said that he prefers playing here. Is it a crime to say I prefer playing here?
No.
What is Mbappe's crime? That you come in.
No.
That he says when the club said, because according to what I read from the papers, this is it. Mbappe said all the promises that they say they're going to make to move this club forward, they've not done it. Probably one of them includes bringing a centre forward to the side. They've not done it so that he could play from wing. They've not done it, and it's disappointing. No, but allegedly.
Now let's look at something. For football reasons.
Yeah.
The fans will join the conversation, I promise, in exactly 3 minutes. For football reasons, now playing out Mbappe on the left, that means Neymar is on the bench, right?
Okay.
Now, is that a wise football decision, or does that seem like an idealistic football decision? Looking at the history at PSG. Now, they've got goals in Neymar, they've got goals in Lionel Messi, they've got goals in Kylian Mbappe. The last striker, notably, that functioned without the system was Edison Cavani. Yeah, they brought in Mauro Icardi, they brought in Moise Kean, and they haven't. The same level. Pablo Sarabia, Arsenal strikers, they haven't. So you're seeing Mbappe come play out on the left where you want. Neymar goes to the bench. That's not even a problem. Now, for football reasons, does it make sense? It's not a problem. Now, let me answer you. Let me just be
I like that.
Nice and answer you.
You're a nice man.
Now, it's okay to say, well, I don't like here. I heard Thierry Henry talking yesterday after the Champions League. He said, well, he didn't like playing on the left when he went to Barca. Yeah, but the coach said, well, that's where you play. And you play for the team. He played there.
Because he wasn't the main man at the time.
Yes.
Leo was, and other players were.
Yeah, but
even when Arsenal. Question is, even when Arsenal.
Now let's go to Barca. Let's go to Barca.
No.
Let's go to Barca.
That's not even a conversation.
Messi as the main man.
The conversation now is this. I don't like playing out here. That's normal.
Yeah.
But saying I don't play here. I don't like playing here. So because of that,
I'm going.
I will leave the football club.
Come on.
Doesn't make any sense.
Sounds like a baby talking.
Yeah. That's the conversation now. It's not about saying I don't like to play out left. That's not the conversation. The conversation is, so it sounds like you're giving the club an ultimatum. Either you play me out on the left, or you get Gaglia, the coach, to play me out on the left, or I leave in January. That's what I'm saying. They're looking for me.
PSG caused this because they gave him that power to make him feel like he can make these decisions.
Now, he goes to Madrid, I tell you, most solemnly, he can't even play out on the left. They've got Vinicius Junior. He won't even play out on the left. Except he's going to Liverpool. That's the only place he walks in and plays on the left, because there's Luis Diaz. You know, walking to Real Madrid. Real Madrid is bigger than any player on planet Earth. They've shown that. I'm shown that time and time again.
Yeah, basically,
there's no player that walks in there and is bigger than that football club. That's Real Madrid.
No, right, James. Let's see this. I wouldn't want to talk much on it, but let me just...
I think we should allow the fans to join the conversation now.
Let me end with this.
Yes, you would come in later.
Oh, okay.
But I promised the fans. 30 and it's time. 09022231010 Hello. Good afternoon, football fan. Your name, your location. Good to have you join us.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you for joining.
Yes, so I'm by from the calling from Geneva.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I want to say a very big thanks to my team Chelsea for working the 3 points yesterday. And for today, I give it to Barcelona. That's it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for joining. We appreciate you. Welcome, football fan. Name, location.
Okay, my name is Henry, calling from Rio.
Right, Henry. Good to have you join us. Welcome.
Thank you. So, Vladimir mentioned Messi.
Yeah.
I think I've seen Messi play all through his career at Barca. He has played as a centre forward, he has played as a false nine, he has played as a right winger, he has played as an attacking midfielder. Yes, sometimes he will not be comfortable with those positions, but he plays. There was a time he even played as one of the strikers, like I think a right striker with 2 strikers up top, him and Messi and Luis Suarez. So a player cannot be making decisions for a team. That's the recipe for disaster anytime, any day. When one player makes that decision, come on, it's bad for everybody. I just thought I should say that.
Thank you very much, Henry, joining the conversation. We thoroughly appreciate you. Let's continue. Mary, track Facebook for us. Welcome, football fan. Name, location.
Hello, Bright and Sports Crew.
Yeah, top runner.
Bright, kudos to Akeruga, rising from the defense to give the Madrid a better job. Bright, I guess he took a big risk. Yes, covered his face. I don't think Benzema can play separately. Bright, I like our friend Amadou Philip has left up to the Blasters yesterday with a controversial statement. Number one, we beg for forgiveness from Nigerians. I think Malta is making undergo a forensic study. Number two, Amadou Philip says he's glad his successfully restored his power and his succession. We need to explain right the meaning of that statement. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Top Gunner, for joining. We appreciate it.
Hello, good afternoon, Arizona.
Yeah. Victor.
Good afternoon, Bright James and Philo. Let me say that I'm so happy to join you this afternoon. Arizona, it was a great moment yesterday for Chelsea because Chelsea under Ramporta has been doing a successful story. Back-to-back Champions League. If you look at when Chelsea started at that group, you see that we were really talking. I thank God that the players have been able to adapt to the formation and bring back the victory. So the match is still getting bigger for Chelsea. So Ramporta must do his best for him to still improve that team for further matches. As for what happened to the Flamingos lady yesterday, I was so shocked. When they started face off, they scored a goal, but they come back and second half, they start playing game with no formation, and the German side take advantage of them. Let me say something very clear, that these competitions are for this young upcoming team. I know when it's come like this, you see that it's here they still player, but for us to go to this competition and do well is a new start. The
right, Victor.
Is best to put the players at the best of the match. That's my thank you for having.
Thanks for joining. Welcome, football fan. Name, location. Good to have you join us.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining.
This is Julius calling from you.
All right.
I want to say congratulations for my team Chelsea. I'm praying that they should keep it on. Please, I want to know how many weeks against injuries Please, I'll give you.
Who? Oh, check that out when we return later tomorrow. Thank you for joining. Welcome, football fan. Name location.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, Comrade Sylvester Udofia.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, you're right. I think actually, I took they should allow to go to where he will go because at 21, he feels so proud that he's on top of the world. He still go play anywhere he wants to play. I think they won't give him the same treatment that giving him at PSG. Let him go to anywhere. I was even surprised at their result yesterday because I had thought that they will win that match convincingly. So with that result, I don't see them as being a contender for the Champions League. It's the same thing happened to Juventus. They are not also good this year. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade, for joining. Appreciate you. Welcome, football fan. Name location. Or to drop call situation. Keep it coming on both the lines 0817 624 565 222 31011. Welcome, football fan.
Good afternoon, Bright.
Thank you for joining the Freke.
Thank you, Bright. Bright, I want to talk about my team, Chelsea. We are from the bottom to the top. Kudos to the Potter. But we still have enough way to go. At least when we meet Manchester City, we meet Arsenal, Manchester United, Liverpool, that is where we would know if the man is ready for the job they have tried. Kudos to them. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Ndefreke, for joining. Appreciate you. Welcome, football fan.
Hello, good afternoon, Brad James.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, but we have young friends right there.
Welcome.
But I want to implore Kylian Mbappe that he should be careful the way he's doing things. I just want to draw his attention to somebody like Mario Balotelli. He told almost the same line, and you can see the result today. So you should try and be very, very careful and be submitted to the coach so that you can be successful. But as for my team, Chelsea, the team is becoming something else. I can see the same handwriting that with 2012 when we brought in a coach in the mid-season. And I see something like that happening in this Champions League. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. It's too early. Welcome, football fan. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining us. All right.
Yeah, very well. Let me say that congratulations to Chelsea for their wonderful victory yesterday. And concerning the Mbappe issue, let me say that the PSG made a very big mistake by giving him this kind of loss in his contract. How can you tell a player at the age of 22 that you will part of the board that decide what goes on in the team? That is kind of, sorry to use the word crazy. You know, at the age of 23 is too much for himself. I think that's what he's giving him the right to do all these things. They should allow him to live. He wants to live. You have Messi, you have Neymar. And someone told me that PSG is winning Champions League. I think if he missed any English team in this Champions League, they will be knocked. They cannot succeed with this kind of situation. That's for me.
No, thank you very much for joining the conversation. There's absolutely, we thoroughly appreciate you. This is where they are. Where do they go from here, Blyden?
What are you referring to?
Where do they go? Where they are, PSG Mbappe.
Okay, this is it. Good, we're back to the conversation. Let me say this. The player that loves PSG the most from all this for me is Kylian Mbappe. This is right. All the demands he's making is about getting the results. You look at Paris Saint-Germain, the way they're playing. You're already seeing the signal of last season. What are they looking for? They're looking for the Champions League. It's not the French League on. It's the Champions League. And the way they're playing, they're not playing as a side that can't win the Champions League.
Mbappe is more ambitious than the club.
Well, right, here's the
right
thing.
now, he is very ambitious.
No,
right. It was a club to get results.
Then he should go to Madrid.
Right,
Maybe.
here's what I think.
Maybe.
Here's what I think, right? You know, yes, Kylian Mbappe loves the club. Yes, he wants the best for the club. But you don't know better than Christophe Gatla. You don't know better than the coach. You don't know better than
seeing it on the field of play.
Well,
just seeing the results on the field of play.
You know the funny part? You know, Lionel Messi has not played one Ligue 1 game for PSG season. That's the only game they didn't score.
It doesn't matter, right?
Right? No, it does. It shows you that it's not about. Mbappe is making it like about himself alone.
No, it's not.
It's not about Mbappe.
It's not.
It's about the team. It's about the whole team. That's my point.
This is why I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
I think we're clouded by the fact that Mbappe is young. Mbappe is young. He's 22. So everyone looks at it as this young lad is making all these statements, feeling too much. But technically, if it was a Cristiano Ronaldo that said it, or it was a Lionel Messi that said this thing, everyone would back them and said, come on, Paris Saint-Germain are not playing quite well. And look at how much they spent in the club. Yes, I agree to one fact, that they've given him too much money. Just as in football, they always give superstars much money.
No, but it's not about money. It's about power.
It's about power. It's not money. It's power.
Money determines power. That's why
let's even talk about power. Kike Setien at Barca, right? You know, Kike Setien at Barca, Messi wanted to play from the wings, right? You know, but it was Griezmann that came in, and then there was Coutinho. Messi was forced to play as a number 10, and he played that number 10. He kept complaining, but he kept playing, kept scoring for the team. It's about the team. It's not about you.
Welcome to the fan.
Your call has been placed on hold. Please wait.
When you're ready to unhold the thing, call us back, all right? All right, let's go to Facebook and look at the comments from there. But before that, let's look at the fixtures for today in the Champions League. Napoli looking to make it back-to-back smashing hits against Ajax at the Estadio Diego Armando Maradona. Rangers in Scotland welcome Liverpool. Barca will be looking to bounce back from the defeats at the Estadio Miazza against Inter last week. The host Inter later tonight at the Camp Nou. Tottenham Hotspur return to the refurbished White Hart Lane. Welcome entering Frankfurt from Germany. Atletico looking to get the pound of flesh against Club Brugge later by 5:45 p.m. Bayern Leverkusen in Germany taking FC Porto from Portugal. Victoria plays in a host by Bavarian Giants Bayern Munich, while Sporting Lisbon in Portugal welcome Marseille by 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Napoli, Ajax, Atletico Brugge are the games for 5:45. The rest of the fixtures are billed for 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Welcome, football fan. Before we head to Facebook.
Hello, Brad.
Yes, Top Gunner back again, 30.
Thomas Fakon's game, what I saw, Brad, they are doing well within the German movies, but the coach will need 3 players. I can't remember their name. The way they come there. I don't think that is a tactical deficiency. Then press keep rolling. I come across where the big body of the best 10 players in the planet. Placing Messi, number 1 ahead of but it's a misplaced priority. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us. Take us to Facebook, Solarex and Marizona. Let's look at the comment from there.
All right, too. From the sports page, Mr. Sopa says, good afternoon, sports crew. The moment my Chelsea beats any opponent other than football, any opponents, other football fans tag the team, not good. But before these games, considering the way we started the campaign, we already written off. Now, we shocked them. Team is not good enough. It is well. Never write Chelsea off. We can cause upset anytime, any day. And the Mosquito Akbabi says, good afternoon, sports crew. Said about Boston. I believe tomorrow can learn from what happened yesterday. Up Chelsea, Graham Potter. Jazzy Brown Zion says it was a good outing for Chelsea. They came back with 3 points. Congratulations to them, up Chelsea. And here Kanabasi Jesus says Potter's ball is on. And what Arsenal couldn't offer Bamiyang is what he's enjoying now. Congrats to Chelsea. Okay. Jim Melidan says I'm happy with my team Chelsea. Up Blues. Ito Wokon says Graham Potter did a good job yesterday night. Good luck to him and God bless him for a job well done. Eridion Udofia says Chelsea's number 9 is a real number in sports jersey. It's all about keeping an eye to direction of the ball and right positioning. Make it a perfect number 9. Long time planet, BJ and the crew. Jamsy official says the under 17 female tried yesterday despite their loss. I wish them success to bounce back in the second game and tonight's Champions League game. I tip into Milan to win. I really want Frankie de Jong to play the Europa League. That he was running from up Manchester United. Milano Latino the greatest. Congrats to my team Chelsea for the win over AC Milan yesterday as the almighty San Siro. I wish James must for finding a quick recovery. Kevin Unyume says Potter really did well yesterday. I'm enjoying the coach for now. As Obama and kudos to him for a nice job yesterday. Very congrats to the pride of London. Micah and Yekan says Champions League is really lost its spice. It's not what it used to be. I don't know what you mean. Joseph Subaru says Chelsea's back, not conceding and scoring. I hope we can continue until we confront City and confuse them. Let them keep running riot until they come across Chelsea. Destiny Herbert says Potter is doing a good job at Chelsea. No doubt that they played well and are really improving. So the players were not the case. Tuchel was. Israeli says concerning the issue of Mbappe, I would advise him to keep his head low. Love the way Blyden started the show, combining the scriptures with football. You're doing well. It's Israel, the Gunners fan from Uyo.
Right. So, Alex, give us 5 quick ones.
Yeah, from the live feed, we have 5 comments, 4 from the same person, and we start with Lucky Onyema. Say, good afternoon, Bright James. My team Chelsea played well yesterday. Let them continue with this form. Then Otega Jimmy said, sports presenter, Chelsea fan have started praise his coach now. Very soon they will start to say sack Tuchel, all Gunners, Chelsea fan. Then still Otega Jimmy says, good afternoon, sports crew. I love this table of able foremen. Please keep it up Gunners. This season is for my able and almighty Arsenal.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's take 2 quick calls and we'll wrap up this Champions League talk. Welcome.
Hello, Bright.
Okay.
Hello, Bright. 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 Let me tell you. Have you seen Cornerstone? I became the best bro, the first stone to build the house. You see it? Well, there's nothing there. Bright, please help me. Greet Sammy S. Greet Bishop. Let's keep on praying. There's nothing above God. There's nothing above God in this life. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for joining. We appreciate it. Now, let's look at 2 key fixtures. Now, ultimately could determine the fate of these teams in this competition going forward. Let's start with Barca. They take it into Milan later tonight. How big is this fixture? What will a win or a loss do for Barca in this particular fixture, considering their future in the competition here tonight, Blyden?
Well, it's such a big game, in particular for Barcelona, especially after losing to Inter Milan at San Siro the last time up. And they also lost to Bayern Munich, were able to beat Victoria Pleasant 5-1. It's almost certainly, except football matters happen, that Bayern Munich are going to beat Victoria Pleasant away. So if Barca takes on Inter, and they don't get to win Inter today, it means Barca will be drifted to the Europa League. And I know the coach doesn't want that. After spending all this money this season and bringing all the players, the likes of Lewandowski. But it speaks volume. Today's cracker is going to be such a cracker. Barcelona versus Inter Milan. And it's a game that Barca has to show that class, as far as I'm concerned. Get a win against Inter today. And it's also a game that Inter has to show a different level of class, that are ready for the big boys, and ready for the big game. For me, I'm looking forward to it. But it's such a difficult, tough game for Barcelona.
All right, now, let's look at the other fixture. Tottenham Sports in Group D. They take an entry Frankfurt here. Mari, last time out in Germany, the Fired Blancs. They must surely get this particular win to challenge Sporting Lisbon at the top of Group D.
Yeah, right. Tottenham particularly really haven't been convincing since the first leg, played a draw and then defeated Brighton by a goal to nil. And then I just hope that Conte listens to us and attacks, because I don't understand why we always talk about you defending against Brighton, defending against Frankfurt. I mean, go all out and play. So I hope that he goes all out today to play, because I think this game might determine if they qualify for the next round or not, because if they've already recorded a loss and then back-to-back draws will not be good for their chances of qualifying, and it will be disastrous and disappointing that an Antonio Conte led side cannot qualify to the last season of the Champions League.
Now, Solrex, if you talk of disaster, that could be the story of Atletico Madrid later tonight, who failed to beat Club Brugge, who are top of Group B with 9 maximum points from 3 fixtures. Later tonight, the host top of the table Brugge at the Wanda Metropolitano.
Yeah, Brett, first up, I trust Diego Simone at Wanda Metropolitano.
You don't trust him?
Yeah, I trust him. With the boys talking of Morata, Griezmann, they can do the damage against Club Brugge, although they're in a good form. So I expect them to, grab all 3 points in this particular game. They lost their last 2 Champions League game, and it was away from home. They won the first leg against FC Porto, which was at home. So I feel, the feel good factor will be there at home for them to try and see, if they can get all 3 points and also cheer their fans up to. They also cheer their fans back to win.
It's a pretty open group, because Porto is second, Bayern Leverkusen in third, and Atletico Madrid, who are rock bottom, all have 3 points each. Victor Osimhen is back for Napoli later tonight. That's according to the manager, Luciano Spalletti. Let's leave there very quickly and talk about all the football stories and wrap up very quickly. Mari, we hear that the man who is in charge of recruitment, head of recruitment George Sirianos and Andy Scott, the head scout, have been sacked by Nottingham Forest. The two of them were heavily involved in summer recruitment that saw 22 players join the football club, and look at where they are now. What happened? I thought Arsenal set up a committee to investigate that.
Any club. But nothing has happened since then. Maybe a decision was taken, but it was taken.
Fraudulent deal.
Yeah, it was very fraudulent, and there was a lot of
light to robbery.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So much was that?
Yeah, Babatunde Bello, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we hear he's joined the Egyptian side.
Yeah, Future. I think it's Future.
Future FC.
Yeah, Future FC.
It's crazy.
Future FC.
Yeah. So right, Nottingham Forest. Well, it's best after the deed has been done, the damage has been done. I think what it is just damage control. But I just hope that Steve Cooper is able to do all of this, because I was always critical of that decision. It doesn't work. Basically, it does not work. You're bringing 22 players to a team. I mean, you're not even keeping the core of the team that got you promoted from the championship. Where are those players today? Even if you wanted to add to the quality, just add a few positions, keep the core. But you deliberately change the whole team just because you're in the Premier League. It doesn't work. It's never worked. So I think maybe it's well deserved if you look.
Is it impossible for it to work?
Well, I'm talking about the fact that you have to keep the core of the team. These players are called heroes. These players understand they suffered with the club. So letting them out, bringing players who don't even understand what it means to be.
If you had to drop your team, and they're given 24 quality players, which one is better?
That's not even the question right now. If the war was ending. Right now,
I'll answer this question maybe tomorrow. But the truth is, I'll get quality, but not 24 quality players. I can't even get 20.
For me, I understand bringing fresh players to a team could be difficult. But when I watch Nottingham Forest, I have a problem with a coach. You can't be having different starting lineup all the time.
Let's take the conversation to TV this evening, 5 to 6:30. Join us if you can. It's called Battle of the Fans. Thank you, Blyden. Thank you, Solex. Thank you very much, Marizona and Bright. James, how do you know I'm out?
Traffic, I didn't feel it when the earthquake happened, but it really got me thinking. Were you out drinking? Were you in the living room chilling, watching television? It's been a year and I think I figured out how to let you go and let communication die out. I know you weren't down for forever, and that's fine. I know we weren't meant for each other.